Howdy, howdy.
Hey, everybody.
How are you? How are
I'm
you?
doing well.
I'm doing well. You're doing well. I'm not
Good as I
doing well.
can.
I am currently going through oxygen withdrawals.
That sounds dangerous,
Yeah, I
if
think
I'm
it
being
is. I think
honest.
it is. No, we're dealing with a whole bunch of just other fun stuff at the house. The whole
Mm,
house montage continues. That's what I had prepped initially for today's cafe. But hello, welcome to the
yeah.
Medicare Cafe. My name is Benjamin. I am joined by the lovely.
Chalen, Jackson.
I guess yeah, last names are important too.
Yeah, important to some
Yeah, check
people.
on me in again like 3 minutes. Make sure I'm still beating over here. Okay, appreciate that.
That oxygen deprivation's really getting to him.
Exactly. Assume I just said the word and it just didn't, make it all the way out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it's not oxygen deprivation. Maybe it is just that it's September 30th. It's the night before AEP marketing.
How appropriate too. So Ben doesn't believe in coffee because so our illustrious leader Sadie was talking earlier about how, hey, you guys both need to have a coffee today because tomorrow, October 1st, how apropos,
Right.
is National Coffee Day. So I'm here with my fishing mug that you all have seen many
Mm.
times before and my plain black coffee that
Mm.
I drink every day. When I'm at home, I drink it out of a 60-year-old electric percolator. Here, I think it's a Mr. Coffee or a bun. I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure either. Every single time we have an agent come in office, I offer, "Hey, do you want a cup of coffee?" And I just pray they say no because I don't know how to make it here in the office. Like I'll figure it out if they say yes, but I just every single time, like, yeah, water, coffee, and just like behind closed doors, I'm just like, please don't say yes. I want a coffee. I mean, I did my time with coffee. I had a stint. I'm no longer a coffee enjoyer as I once was. Sadie always gives me trouble because we have a
Yeah.
Breville machine, like a Breville Barista Pro, I think is the name of it. My wife has been on and off a barista for like 5 years because being a teacher,
Yep.
she gets bored during the summer, and in order to maintain a certain level of hours of something that she has to do or goes and gets to do, she goes back and baristas at one of the local coffee shops here in town. And so because of that, when we first got married, I put like the Christmas gift was like, well, let's just buy an espresso machine, and that way, like, one, you could continue to make fun coffees and
Yeah.
have that. It's also way cheaper
Mm-hmm.
than so it was kind of a smart boy investment,
There you go.
which I probably haven't broken to her, but like she still thinks it's just because I wanted her to make fun coffees. So I think
Does she continue to make fun coffees?
every single morning,
Seems well worth
sometimes
it.
twice a day, except the second one is usually a tea. So
What constitutes a fancy tea?
when it's named anything other than tea.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
like a
fair. That's
London
fair.
fog, that's probably a common tea,
I
maybe.
wouldn't know.
Neither do I.
I'm
But
an oolong guy when I drink tea at home.
a what?
Oolong.
Okay. I'm not
If
from
you're a tea person, pop in
yeah,
the chat. It would
please
be
tell us,
great.
what teas do you
And
enjoy?
Christy, that's very wise. Don't ask Ben for coffee. He's not your guy. I will make you a perfectly nice pot of drip coffee, and it will be perfectly acceptable.
Like I said, I did my time. I know a thing or two about coffee. I just don't anymore. So I'm a little
Mhm.
rusty. So if you give me a couple tries, Christy, then maybe we'll
There you
get
go.
we'll get it good by the third time through. Because I used to drink, I would do Chemex coffee, so it was like all pour overs and everything like that. So, and you were mentioning you had a fun story about hunting and kind of brewing your coffee over open flame.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to actually have to tell that story.
Yeah, no, I'm holding
Yeah.
you to it now.
Okay, no. We were talking about coffee and what we might want to talk about. So I said I could always tell the story of it being 10 degrees outside and sitting out in the woods hunting last fall and very cold, bitterly cold. And, I've got this little plastic pour over thing that I keep in my backpack so I can make a single cup of coffee on my little isobutane stove. And it is always very nice to have that when you're out in the woods. It is not as nice when your water bottle freezes in your backpack because it's so cold. So trying to thaw out a water bottle is a little bit difficult in the deer blind, but we made it work.
I feel like that's why you go with metal instead of like any of the plastic water bottles. That way
It
you
was
can put
metal.
it. Yeah. Oh, and
It was a metal water
but
bottle.
at least then you could like put it in the coals and like
Sure.
not have it melt. So that's crazy. a fine peppermint tea. Honestly, Brian, you strike me as a peppermint tea kind of a guy.
There's
So
nothing
that
wrong
checks
with
out.
peppermint tea. That's perfectly good.
Well, there we have nothing to say against peppermint tea. There's everything to say against Brian.
Fair enough.
With that being said, we'll go ahead and kind of jump into it. Welcome to today's episode of the Medicare Cafe. We're going to be touching on some time-saving tips, specifically on a couple of different resources. And then Chalen has a really fun game for us a little bit later into the episode.
The game is a bit of a stretch, but we'll see how it goes.
And we'll kind of go through a couple of different aspects here. Like Chalen and I mentioned, today is September 30th, the day before AEP marketing. Your guys' most valuable asset starting at midnight tonight, if it hadn't already been already, is your guys' time as an agent. We will start the fun, timed clock, understanding all the 2026 benefits. I know several agents that will be tuning in today will be holding ANOC events and other events that are going between the 1st and the 15th. And then when the clock strikes 15, we'll be, servicing entire blocks of businesses, ensuring that the folks that may be experiencing service area reductions or not having benefits going into 2026 will need to be taken care of. And so all of that falls in a very finite amount of time. And so our goal here today is to ensure that you guys have and know about some of these resources.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
fix some of
Before we get into that, I feel compelled to tell this story because I've been telling it to everyone I can get a hold of. And I'm going to tell it again here because I think I told it maybe 2 weeks ago. But this is important stuff, and I want people to know. Service area reductions are the single largest opportunity we have even in this crazy, crazy market. Last year, there was 1.8 million people affected by non-special needs plan service area reductions. At the same time, our friends over at Deft Research can tell us that year over year, the number of people in original Medicare only, no MedSup, no MA, no group insurance, just A and B, grew by 500,000. 500,000 people jumped onto A and B only. Now, that's a number that has been going down for the past decade, and all of a sudden it jumped by 500K. That is not, don't think for a minute that that's 500,000 people that suddenly decided Medicare A and B was the best deal in the market.
Right.
That's 500,000 people that did not have access to a trusted advisor, that didn't read their ANOC, that didn't have anyone get a hold of them during AEP, that didn't have anyone get a hold of them even during OEP, because these are from the April enrollment files. So it's post OEP. These are folks that missed out on maybe their last chance to get into a MedSup, their chance to get into a higher quality Medicare Advantage plan, their chance to become your client. 2.2 million is the number of service area reductions we're anticipating this year. Don't let 600,000 people end up on original Medicare only next spring. We have every opportunity in the world to find those folks and help them. But you have things you want to talk about.
No, honestly, that just kind of states and puts in the precedent of, like, again, how important your guys' time is. Because if it's time wasted during that time of the year, it is time, it's clients lost, it's profit loss, it's, business grown loss, the whole 9 yards. So it's very, very, very impactful. One of the things that we wanted to touch on specifically is, as a self-considered technology person, I want to make sure that you guys have your bookmarks bar kind of set up and ready to go for this AEP. So what are things that you constantly use? What are things that you are, wishing while you're looking through and Googling and can't find the right website? What are the number one things that you, Chalen, that for the agents and agencies that you're working with here this over the past several years, and specifically for AEP, what are some of the resources that they're leaning on going into Q4?
Yeah, so I think it's, as a general rule, this needs to be customized to your agency. You just look at any of a really fun one. This is going to sound lame, but just go to your internet history. Like, pull up your whatever browser you use every day and go to your history. Where are the places you go every day that you go constantly and continuously? Those need to be on your bookmarks bar if they're not already there. If whatever it is, within reason.
Yeah.
But that's what needs to be in your bookmarks bar. Obviously, things like Medicare.gov, smsteam.net, Integrity Connect, things like the specific hyperlinks to specific pages that you
Mhm.
need to find quickly and easily. Maybe the CMS landscapes. Ooh, Olivia said DoorDash.
Yep.
That is not a half bad idea. DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever your preferred food delivery
Yep.
mechanism is,
Yep.
that's not a bad one to add.
Those are all good ones.
Any of those places that you're visiting regularly on a daily basis or even every other day,
Mm.
anywhere that is somewhere you might send clients to. If you want to be able to pull a resource for a client, maybe it's your state Department of Health and Senior Services and you need to pull contact information or download a form, things like that. Start looking at stuff like that. Maybe maybe you help a lot of folks apply for LIS or things like that. Have a stack of those printed off ahead of time, or if you're going to email them to clients, have those ready to go, know where to find them quickly.
Yeah, I feel like ones that kind of go unnoticed is like maybe the Medicare new handbook,
Mm-hmm.
the choosing a Medigap policy guide. Quarter forward, though, it commonly gets kind of has a shadow come over it for Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan. It is still one of the number one quarters for Medicare supplement enrollments. If you guys are tackling any ancillary, making sure you have either those portals or those products ready to go, whether it's printed off and already in your client's folder, or at the very least bookmarked. That way you have that easily accessible. So you can provide yourself with one less barrier to truly either making that sale or making your system process easier on the client and yourself as an agent, this AEP.
I would agree.
For those top 3 time savers. So that should put you guys into a position for all of your bookmarks. With all that, one kind of thing that I'll touch on before we touch on the time savers would be that there is a way that you can add folders to your bookmark. No, is it
Bookmark
plural?
bar.
Bookmark. Is it just singular?
It is
It's
singular.
singular. Dude, I asked for you to check in on me like 3 minutes ago. I don't think I'm gonna make it. There is a way to add folders to your bookmark bar, and through all of that, you can have that all kind of organized in a way. That way, if you have a folder for ancillary, scope of appointment, anything along those lines, maybe it's appointment needs. Those are different aspects that you could have just on your folder. The other tidbit I'll add is like
AEP toolkit.
that'd be a really good one as well. We actually just outlined. I'll add that in later as like an honorable mention at the very end. That just
Is this not the very end?
well
of this
I
section?
meant the very end of the cafe because
Okay,
it's not
gotcha.
quite like bookmark bar cool, but it's still really cool.
Okay, cool. So something only Ben identifies with. We
Yeah,
got this.
probably.
Eugene, the deductibles for A and B as well as the premiums won't come out until probably the first week in November is when we traditionally see those. Normally, Social Security has to get in the September economic reports, and then they spend the month of October calculating those to release the data around the first week in November. Obviously, you can keep an eye on our newsroom on smsteam.net or the CMS newsroom to get updated on that regularly. That might be another good thing. It's not a bookmarks thing, but you can set up an RSS feed for any government website where you can get email notifications when they put out new information. So you can subscribe to the RSS feed for the CMS newsroom, so you can start getting those notifications as soon as they go public. You can set up RSS feeds for the Federal Register so you can get notified anytime CMS adds a new regulation proposal or collection of information. I don't recommend that unless you really like getting 6 emails a day from a government agency, but you can.
Yeah. You
And
make a
I
separate
do.
email for it, it's that way you check it in whenever you want to. That's cool. I didn't know you could have that directly put into your inbox and kind of plug in that system. That's really nice. So touching back over onto some of the time saving aspects or whatnot, the 3 that we have listed here would be templated emails, Integrity Connect, and then the dentist office approach. Honestly, I can touch on templated emails real quick in the sense of like there are going to be questions that you get by a large majority of your clients this year. Make sure that you have something pieced in together, whether that be like Eugene asked today, what can I expect from Medicare.gov or Medicare as far as premiums and deductibles go? That's going to be a common question this year. having a go-to resource and a templated email already kind of pieced together, that way you can send that out, is a really good way to kind of touch on some of that. I'll let you kind of touch on the dentist office approach, because I think you spell that out really well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something we've been saying for several years is, run your agency like a dentist office. If you're sitting in front of a client, the last thing they do before they get up or before they leave is they sign a scope and they set their next appointment. The doctor or the dentist office sets that appointment with you 6 months out because they know if they don't set it, you're never calling them back. So set that appointment, sign the scope before they leave your office. Use that approach of setting up the follow-up, even if it's a year out, even if it's 6 months out, even if it's first quarter, set that up before they leave. You don't have to worry about collecting the scope again 48 hours before the appointment because you've already got it. It's good for 12 months. We don't have to worry about any of that. So just using your time efficiently. It takes a little bit to get in the habit, but you can spend another 5 minutes now and it'll save you 10 minutes next year.
Yeah. And a lot, if you do that 3 times in a row, that's a whole other 30-minute appointment. Like that's the kind of the way to think about it is, oh, it's just 10 minutes. It really probably doesn't matter all that much, but it's that compounding interest of 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And throughout the course of, a year, you can add a lot more time to your quarter four, make sure you're adding, that many more appointments and taking care of that many more people.
It also staves off the uncertainty of filling your calendar. If you've already got 50 or 100 appointments booked for next AEP in September, you have the option of calling folks up and seeing if they still need their appointment instead of trying to convince someone to come in.
Yeah. Makes that a lot easier. And part of kind of having some of that communication about whether or not your clients even need to come in for an appointment as well is where I would kind of highlight Integrity Connect. For those that may not have been in the room when it was announced, Medicare Center is what we are referring to with its new name now as Integrity Connect. So you probably have already seen some of the changes to its logo as well as its name on the platform specifically. But the highlighting tabs within Integrity Connect about just marketing to your folks. You can set up, month of their birthday to get some emails and text messages automatically sent out there. Those are things that, again, maybe only take a time or two when you're doing them, but if you can set them up now when you have a time or two to actually kind of focus on some of that, it'll make your life a lot easier in the future. And just having that streamlined, consistent process in order to have those conversations with clients, and that way you're having continued touch points throughout one of the busiest times of the year for us. Let's see what else we got here. Too late or don't wait. This is welcome back to Too Late or Don't Wait with our host Chalen Jackson. What can you still do today and crush it this AEP?
The US's 27th favorite game show. So I want to catch up with Eugene first because he asked how do we set up RSS feeds. When you go to somewhere like the CMS newsroom, Eugene, if you scroll down to the bottom, it'll have some little technical stuff and it'll say something like subscribe for updates or something like that. So you can just subscribe for the email updates right there. Setting up an actual RSS feed takes a little more, but the email updates are usually good enough for me. So take a look at the bottom of that of any given thing. Now, Ben.
I have to read you the intro now.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Ben. Tomorrow is October 1st.
Yes.
We've been preparing for AEP for months.
Right. We all have.
We'll see. So we've been preparing for AEP for months. But there's still time on the clock.
There is.
We've got time to
Final
make a difference
moments
in the lives of our clients and our business. So we're going to run through a few things. And we can go back and forth on this. But I want you to tell me, I'm going to give you an idea for some kind of marketing or operations thing. And I want you to tell me, is it too late to do that for AEP? Or don't wait and do it today?
Okay, I'm ready. I've got my buzzer.
Scheduling events.
Too late.
Why?
Well, I guess
this is a discussion, folks, in case you all missed that.
Make sure you're playing along at home, too. I would say, I guess it depends on what type of event you're trying to put on. Mm-hmm. If it was like a registered sales event that you're trying to put through, far too late because that's not going to be approved in time.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree a lot,
Okay,
actually.
Perfect. Please.
Here's why.
Inform me.
So a little bit situational, may depend a lot on your market. It's definitely, even if you want to do one just during AEP, it's definitely not too late, in my opinion, to get an event scheduled, a registered sales event for, say, mid-November through the end of AEP. Okay. So, around that Thanksgiving, that last week of AEP, I still think there's tons of time. Okay. But I also think if you're in a market where there's a massive service area reduction, there is no reason. Listen, December 8th is the starting line for a whole new enrollment period.
That's true.
If you've got 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people in your 3 or 4 county area affected by a service area reduction, which is happening in a lot of places, you need to be scheduling sales events all the way through Christmas. All the way through Christmas. And even pick up a few after the first of the year. That SAR SEP runs through the end of February. There's no reason to slouch on this. It's a huge opportunity that you can continue taking advantage of for the rest of the year.
Something that I would love your opinion on this. Is it true that the SAR SEP could trump a last app wins for AEP? So if someone had met with an agent specifically during AEP, could you still use that SAR SEP because they're not technically in their new plan just yet?
Exactly.
So it's still a
so
really
it's
good
still
time.
last app in. It's just using a different enrollment period.
Gotcha. Cool. That makes sense. Well, I learned something today. Hopefully you guys learned something today already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about
Hold on,
Ben? Too late or don't wait on finding opportunities for free or earned media exposure.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. There's always opportunities to find other ways you can be working with your upline about what it would look like, about, hey, I have this idea. Many times will have cost share or co-op opportunities to share with you. So you guys are not the only ones finding out about these opportunities. Us as a whole, or uplines as a whole, are also very interested in trying to seize the opportunities that are being, portrayed to us throughout the industry right now. There's several other like mom and pop pharmacies. There's other things that you can be doing about, finding ways of getting your presence out there to the public.
You've got a local newspaper. You've got a local radio station. You've got a local TV station. Get in touch with them. Every newspaper wants a good local op-ed. Every radio show needs to fill 3 to 5 minutes of local news time every morning. Every local TV station is always looking for human interest stories. Seniors getting bamboozled by call centers or kicked out of a plan that they loved and having to go back to the market is a huge, huge story in a lot of markets. And you're one of the only people out there that is not a health plan or a provider group that has an opinion on it. So get in touch with these media sources, share your expertise, frame yourself as a community resource, and write the op-ed. It doesn't have to be crazy long. 500 words is great. Find a way to write about what's going on in your local market. And, we can't call ourselves experts, but we can't stop the local newspaper from calling us that.
Very true. Very true. I love that. That's a really good point. I wouldn't have thought about some of the older school media. I mean, truth of the nature. But that is the folks that we are trying to serve are the ones that are still ingesting that type of media. So it makes a lot of sense.
Ben is not that much younger than me, but the fact that he just called newspaper and television old school media.
That's all I bring to the cafe is making people feel much older than they are.
Naivety?
Maybe. Sure. I don't really know that word, but okay. Is there a third one? Can I go?
You go. You give me one. That's great.
Okay. Chalen.
We have not played this game before, by the way.
Never once in my life, but we're here. Is it too late or don't wait?
It's about to be too late.
It's getting too late for this question. That's for sure. I didn't have one prepared.
All right, let's talk about the mail while Ben thinks of a good question.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that'll give me plenty of time.
If you're still mailing out things to your clients, it is darn near too late. They definitely won't get it before AEP in a lot of cases, but especially if you're looking at things like mailed leads, that's a month turnaround. You're already looking at the beginning of November. This is absolute last call on any kind of direct mail leads or anything like that, in my opinion. Doesn't mean we can't still buy leads through things like Lead Center or look at other trusted vendors. But if you're trying to do direct mail of any kind, down to the wire on that.
Yeah. I've got
I could tell you got.
I got really excited. Well, I mean, when you only have one of these every other blue moon, you get really excited when they come through. So
only about every 4 months, huh?
Exactly. Is it too late or should I not wait? if I want to try to put together some type of like marketing conversation or marketing proposal that may need to get like approved.
Approved by who?
Anyone. Like if I was an agent and I wanted to seize the opportunity for an SAR or something that's going on in my area, and I want to figure out how do I get in front of the public, like we talked about with some of the marketing dollars, I want to put something together. Is it too late? Can I not do it? Or is there still time for me to put something together?
It is never too late to spend someone else's money.
I mean,
It has to be the right opportunity.
True.
But if you're looking for options for things like co-op, if you're looking for carrier dollars, if you're looking to market to your local community, it is never too late to look for that opportunity. You just need a good amount of time between the conversation and the opportunity. So is it too late to ask for co-op to put up a billboard in your hometown next week? Absolutely. It is too late for that. Is it too late to have a strong discussion about a service area reduction market with 20,000 people losing their plan and doing sales seminars between the December 8th and December 20th? Not at all.
See, I was more so hoping to be like, yeah, maybe it's too late to do like a marketing, get something approved by CMS, but we could reword that.
Yeah, it's been too late for that. Okay, so here's the deal.
But we could reword it to communications, maybe.
If we're talking marketing materials,
Yes,
which would have been a good,
that would have been a good way to change the wording of that.
Yes, it's pretty much too late. I tell folks it can take anywhere from 3 weeks to 60 days to get a marketing piece approved through carriers and CMS. So definitely too late for that for this AEP. Most of the carriers aren't even really going to be open to that at this point. It doesn't mean we can't look at rest of year. We can't look at SEP for next year. But if you're looking for an AEP piece, it needs to be communications where we can do an internal review and get you on the road and up and running.
Marketing materials. That would have been the helpful word.
Yes,
to use.
it would have.
My apologies. I'm just a host. I'm not paid to know things. I'm just paid to look pretty. And I don't get paid a lot, but I'm here. Do you have any other too lates or don't waits?
No, I don't.
No? This is a fun game. We should revisit this.
Maybe with a little more prep work.
Yeah, just a little bit more prep work on at least half of us. Let's see. I think that was the last slide we had.
I think it was.
Let's make sure too late or don't wait. Well, that's really the whole kind of kit and caboodle that we have here for you guys. Hopefully this was a little bit more fun, a little bit more lighthearted, just to kind of give you some ideas that may have gone like swept under the rug. We didn't bring anything too profound here, but some of those things are in a time of high anxiety, high stress, and time limits. Those are the things that get kind of forgotten or lost very, very quickly. So hopefully this was helpful. I greatly appreciate any time that I can spend with Chalen, and kind of, again, I'm taking away pieces of information that I will go spread forth and do hopefully great things with. And hopefully you guys felt very similar today on some of that. From all of that, that's the pre-cafe. Son of a gun, I did it wrong again. It's the period. No, that was the title. Or we need to have a conversation about these buttons. The star.
There we go.
If you guys are not already part of our Facebook group, we would love to have you as part of our Facebook group. There's our conversations that go on throughout AEP about, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Get to pick the brains of other agents going on. And I know a lot of those different organizations and groups that are out there are where a lot of agents get to rely on and lean on any other agents about what their experiences are seeing or other questions that they may have, so you can ask other advisors and agents in your guys' area. And then we'll be there to try to fact check it, make sure it's not just a bunch of baloney. So that's kind of where we get to have some fun with it all.
Absolutely.
With that being said, is there anything else that I can that you would like to leave with the audience here today?
Tomorrow's the big day. Let's all get to work. We'll see everyone on the other side. Call in with your questions, thoughts, or concerns.
100%.
Otherwise, I think that wraps us for today.
Perfect.
So it's time to have fun.
Make money and give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.
Olivia'd be so proud.